Hello, I'm Gia, the Faculty Coordinator for General Education. In this video, I will show you what faculty need to do to collect and submit student artifacts for GenEd assessment. This process must be completed every time we teach a course that counts for GenEd credit. It includes express courses, online courses, and study abroad. We really appreciate your help with this important task. In this slide, I show you the cycle that needs to be followed every semester. And we start by having our syllabus ready so that our administrative assistants can later upload it into OAKS. As you can see on the screen, we all have to have a separate section in our syllabus that is called General Education Student Learning Outcomes. Under this section, you list the outcomes for your specific area. In the example on the screen, we have the humanities SLOs, but you must replace them with the ones for your area. At the end of this section, you need to include a statement that starts with, these outcomes will be assessed in, and then list which assignment or exam you will use to assess GenEd. The assignment or exam must have a specified grading component in the course. And you have to be specific if you have multiple assignments similar to the one you are assessing GenEd. For example, if you have 3 short essays and you will assess GenEd on short essay number 3, your statement should say, these outcomes will be assessed in short essay number 3. And then under grades, there should be a percentage indicating how much of the grade is assigned to short essays. It does not have to say that short essay number 3 is worth 2% of the grade, just that all short essays are worth 15%. Or if you choose to do it in the final, and your final exam is worth 40% or 25%, like here in this case, you don't have to specify how much the GenEd question is worth. We need to do this at the beginning of every semester or summer sessions. All syllabi are due to the administrative assistants the second week of classes by 5 p.m. on the Friday in a regular semester, and on day number 2 after a summer session starts. Now, in this video, we will focus on how faculty select which students to sample in each of their sections, and how to submit the student artifacts to the administrative assistants. We always have to submit 3 student artifacts per section. Then the administrative assistants will scan the student artifacts, and if you submitted the originals, they will be returned to you. Finally, administrative assistants will compile all student artifacts for your department, and they will number them and upload them into OAKS. How do I select the sample of students in my section? First, I sort students in alphabetical order by last name. Then I select the first, middle, and last. In this case, Brandt, Kramer, and Marks. This works perfectly when there is an odd number of students. What if I have an even number of students? Then you pick the first and the last, Brandt and Marks, and then in the middle, you have student 5, Green, or student 6, Kramer. Choose one of them. It doesn't matter which one. Just pick either Green or Kramer. Therefore, your sample will be either Brandt, Green, and Marks, or Brandt, Kramer, and Marks. What if a selected student did not submit the signature assignment or withdrew from the class? Let's see the example. Lauren Quinn did not submit the assignment, so just go to the immediate next one, in this case Marks, and submit Marks instead of Quinn. Therefore, your sample in this case is Brandt, Kramer, and Marks. From earlier, I know that my sample is Stephen Brandt, Zachary Kramer, and Lindsay Marks. Now I have the student artifacts in front of me. What do I do with them? First, remove any identifiable information from the assignment, names or course. I want to make sure I have a copy of the description of the assignment or prompt before each student artifact. Therefore, in this case, I make 3 copies of the prompt, since it is an essay, and I remove student names, my name, my section number, etc. Do not worry about numbering the students, since the administrative assistant will do it when she has all assignments in the department. Therefore, my final submission is, first, a copy of the description of the assignment, then student 1 artifact without identifiable information, then another description of the assignment, one more student artifact, finally the last copy of the description of the assignment, make sure no identifiable information, and my last student. Once I compile all three, I'm ready to submit it to my administrative assistant. All this is in case of an essay that you have a separate prompt. But what if you teach a course that the questions are embedded in the exam or assignment? Then you don't have to submit the prompt or description of the assignment separate. In this case, I just eliminate the identifiable information of all three students. So notice that there's no student name in any of those students. And in this example, because the questions are embedded in the exam, we don't provide a blank copy or an extra copy of the questions. Now, please try to ask students to work with pen if they are not typing the answers. This is whenever possible. But when it is not possible, please provide the originals to the administrative assistant, and he or she will make sure to darken the copy when scanning for final submission. In case you will do this part of scanning, please darken to the highest level before doing the scan and make sure that the file is readable. In the previous examples, I showed you student artifacts that were not graded by the professor before they were submitted. This is how it should be. Now, you have two options to submit the student artifacts, 3 per section, to your administrative assistant. Option 1 is to provide the originals to your administrative assistant, and he or she will scan it and return the originals to you. You can also provide copies, but please make sure that they are readable. Otherwise, please go back to providing the originals. If your GenEd assessment is the last page of the final exam, you should just provide that section on the exam and not all the exam. Option 2 is to scan the student artifacts and send them to your administrative assistant right after you collect them. You must scan them before grading. Either way, please request that your administrative assistant checks you off the list of pending submissions. If we have missing assignments, we will go to those lists to request the missing work. After submitting all 3 student artifacts for each section of a GenEd course that you teach, you are all done. Please make sure you do this process right after you collect signature assignments from your students, since your administrative assistant has a very tight schedule to put it all together and submit all of your department's signature assignments.